We'll be back with another video on our channel, Legends Leaving. Today's tributes honor the lives and careers of some of the best American stars who have died recently or today. These artists created memorable figures that will live on in movies and TV shows for a long time. Let's honor these stars whose light will continue to shine through their wonderful works. We send our deepest apologies to the family during this very sad time. May God make them feel welcome. Goodbye. Before you do anything else, please show your love by giving this video a thumbs up. Let's get to the point. A sad Wednesday. A young woman who loved gymnastics died in a sad event in Germany. Natalie Stichova, a 23-year-old tech dancer, died in a terrible accident while she was in Germany at Neuschwanstein Castle. She slipped and fell while trying to take a selfie on the about 80-meter high Tegelberg rock. She was taken to the hospital by helicopter after the accident and was in very bad shape. She stayed there in a vegetative state until her family chose to turn off her life support this morning, August 28th. Through a moving post on Instagram, Natalie's mother talked about how proud she was of her daughter and how amazing she was. She talked about how Natalie had made her life and the lives of her brothers better. Natalie was known for her love of gymnastics and the mountains. She posted lots of pictures from her trips on social media. She was a coach and spoke for the Pre-Brom Gymnastics Club, which was very sad about her death. People in the sports world and on social media were shocked by her premature death. She made a big impact on the world of gymnastics and on the people who knew her, even though her career was short. Natalie Stichova, please rest in peace. People will always remember how much she loved gymnastics and how daring she was. May her memory encourage other people to be as passionate about their goals as she was. We're very sorry for her family and friends' loss.
8
people in mixed martial arts MMA are sad and have said goodbye to yet another American expert. MMA fighter Benji Radach died early Wednesday morning, August 28th. He was 45 years old. His brother and wife shared the news of his death on social media, which proved that Radach had died. Even though he died, the cause of death has not been mentioned yet. Radach worked for a number of well-known companies for more than 10 years. He started MMA in 2001 and won his first 10 fights, which is a great record. The UFC liked his early work so much that they signed him to a deal in 2002. Radach worked in Elite XC as well. In one of the most memorable wins of his career, he knocked out Murilo Ninja Rua, who was the brother of the famous Mauricio Shogun Rua and is now in the UFC Hall of Fame. Ben Ryder beat him in his last fight, which took place in 2015 in Bellator. Besides his work in mixed martial arts, Radach has also done great things outside of the cage. In 2004, he stopped an armed robbery and held the criminal down until the police came. This showed how brave and determined he was as a citizen and as a fighter. Benji Radach, please rest in peace. People will always remember how brave you were in and out of the cage and how determined you were as a fighter. Our deepest condolences go out to your family and friends. May your journey encourage others to face life's difficulties with the same strength you did.
7
Leonard Riggio, 83, was the head of Barnes & Noble and an American businessman. He died yesterday. After a brave fight with Alzheimer's disease, she died on August 27th. His family said in a statement that he stopped being chairman in 2019 after the chain was sold to the hedge fund Elliott Advisors. During the decades he was in charge, he not only grew the business, but also encouraged people to be creative and love reading. This is what Barnes & Noble said about Leonard Riggio. He was an American businessman who was best known for his work at Barnes & Noble, the largest bookstore chain in the United States. He was also very important in bringing cutting-edge technologies like advanced point-of-sale systems and an e-commerce site into the business. This underdog company, Barnes & Noble, was so well known that Tom Hanks played a Fox Books executive in the hit love comedy You've Got Mail in the 1990s. Riggio worked at Barnes & Noble, but he was also involved in a lot of community and charitable projects. His ideas changed the way people buy and read books in the US and will continue to do so for a long time. It's with sadness that we say goodbye to Leonard Riggio. His ideas and passion changed the way shops worked and will always be remembered. May his memory always give you hope and reason to be thankful. Leonard, please rest in peace.
6.
Another sad death in the US. Devon Jacobs was an American singer and songwriter who went by the stage name August 8th. August 08's team announced that he had died on August 28th. He was only 31 years old. The news was spread on social media and in the music press. People who liked the artist and people who worked in the music business were saddened by his death. His publicist said that he died because of a problem that came up because of a long-term health condition, but many people don't know the exact facts. In the beginning of his work, August 08 wrote songs and sang them. He developed a style that mixes R&B, soul, and modern pop. He became famous for being able to make music that was both emotional and real. He put out a number of well-reviewed singles, some of which were collaborations with other well-known acts and producers. August 08 has worked with many singers and producers over the course of his career, including some of the biggest names in the business. These collaborations made him become more well-known in the music world and reach new people. We say goodbye to August 08 with a heavy heart. His songs made us feel things, and his creativity gave many people ideas. His music will always be remembered because of the melodies and words that changed our lives. I hope his soul is at peace and that his art keeps shining in the world. Thank you for giving us your songs and having us think about things. August 8th, please rest in peace.
5.
Xydias, better known as Psycho Sid, died at the age of 63 after a long fight with cancer. He died, and his son Gunnar wrote about it on Facebook. It was sad for Sting, one of the institution's biggest stars, to hear about the death of one of the most trustworthy big men ever. He said, "I loved working with Sid and will miss him in the wrestling world." Xydias was also known as Sid Vicious. He was a famous wrestler who was known for being strong and charismatic in the ring. As a wrestler, Xydias was one of the biggest stars in the business. He had success in big promotions like WCW, WWE. He was crowned WWE champion in 1996 and 1997, and was known as the world's master and boss. Many people became interested in professional wrestling in the 1990s, and Xydias was one of the biggest stars in the business. He was the main attraction at a number of pay-per-view events. With his 2.05-meter height, statuesque build, and blonde hair, WWE calls him one of the most dangerous celebrities to ever work for the company in his biography. Sid, who was mean, brought an energy that few people could ever hope to hold back. The wrestler won the WF Championship twice, the WCW World Heavyweight Championship twice, and the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Championship twice. We say goodbye to Xydias today. He was a real wrestling star. People will always remember how charismatic he was and how good he was in the ring. May his trip be peaceful, and may his memory continue to motivate people to do their best. The many-time winner leaves behind 3 kids named Frank, Sabrina, and Gunnar.
4.
Betty Halbreich, a famous personal shopper and longtime head of solutions at Bergdorf Goodman in California, died on August 27th of natural causes. She was 96 years old. The news of her death came from Halbreich's family, a statement from the company she started, and a number of fashion magazines. Halbreich worked for Jeffrey Binney's Diffusion line on 7th Avenue and then moved up at Bergdorf Goodman after starting as a sales worker there in 1976. At Halbreich's request, the famous department store set up a personal shopping office for her. Babe Paley, Meryl Streep, and Liza Minnelli were among her customers. Halbreich worked on TV shows like Sex and the City and Gossip Girl. She also wrote 2 autobiographies, Secrets of a Fashion Therapist in 1997 and I'll Drink to That in 2015. People became even more interested in her after watching the 2013 documentary Scatter My Ashes at Bergdorf's and being amazed by how funny she was. She also kept up with people on Instagram and TikTok. For many years after she retired, Betty Halbreich kept working as a fashion advisor, helping clients and famous people with their style. We are deeply sorry to hear about the death of Betty Halbreich. Her knowledge and impact in the fashion world were priceless, and many people will continue to be inspired by her beauty and style. We thank her for what she has brought to the fashion world and how her unique ideas have lit it up. During this hard time, our thoughts are with her family and friends. Betty, please rest in peace all year in getting the hit that one was.
3,
Don Wert, who played third base for the Detroit Tigers when they won the World Series in 1968, died on August 27, 2024. He was 86 years old. The death of Oz was caused by heart failure. He died, and both his family and Major League Baseball expressed their sadness over the loss. After 9 years, Wert played for 8 of those years with the Tigers. That season, the Tigers won the World Series and he was named to the All-Star team. Wert mostly played for the Detroit Tigers, but he also played for the Washington Senators for a while. During his time, he was known for how well he played defense and how dedicated he was to the team. After Wert retired from professional baseball, he did things connected to sports, like charity events and reunions and games he used to play in. People remember Don Wert as a dedicated and well-liked baseball player whose work with the Detroit Tigers and baseball in general made a big impact on the sport's past. We're very sorry to hear about the death of Don Wert in your family. His dedication to and skill at baseball left a lasting mark, and his services to the game will always be admired and respected. We're grateful for the memories he made and the good things he did in so many people's lives. During this sad time, our thoughts are with his family and friends. Don, please rest in peace.
2,
Alex Xydias was a hot rocker from the United States who raced cars and did land speed races. He died on August 24th. He was 102 years old. Many people didn't know what killed him, but his long life and important accomplishments to motorsports were well known and respected. SoCal Speed Shop, the company he co-founded and which was very important to his business, confirmed that Alex Xydias had died. Unfortunately, we have to say that our beloved father, grandfather, and great-grandfather Alex Xydias died on August 24th from COVID-19 issues. He was 102 years old. Mourn's many successes and groundbreaking contributions to the world of cars will always remind us of how passionate and dedicated he was to the racing community he loved so much. With a career that spans decades, his love for motorsports and willingness to try new things continued to inspire new generations. A real legend, his spirit and passion made the sport he loved better. He was more than just a driver and designer. People will admire and value his life, which was full of accomplishments and an impressive length of time. May he rest in peace. Alex's 3 children, 7 granddaughters, and 13 great-grandchildren will miss him.
1,
The Baltimore Ravens said that offensive line coach Joe D'Alessandris, who was 70 years old, died on Sunday. The Ravens said earlier this month that D'Alessandris had been hospitalized because he was very sick. Since the 2017 season, D'Alessandris had been the offensive line coach for the Ravens. From 2010 to 2012, D'Alessandris worked for the Bills as a teacher under Chan Gailey. Buffalo gave up 87 sacks during that time, which was the 5th fewest in the NFL. D'Alessandris started to coach O. In 1979, when he was a young man, in 2008, he got his first job in the NFL with the Kansas City Chiefs. In a message released Sunday, Ravens head coach John Harbaugh said that Coach Joe D was a man of faith and honesty. He made us better. We had him lead our team mass, and everyone here loved him. He was nice and a great teacher. This is the kind of friend you'd be proud to have. The great Joe D was someone I looked up to, loved, and will miss. Really very sad. He was liked by many, and his work as a coach and a player will never be forgotten. Our hearts go out to his family and friends during this sad time. May he rest in peace. This week's news is about a famous and loved artist who you no doubt already know. The person in question is Al Roker. Guys, do you like him? What grade do you give your achievements on a scale of 0 to 10? Post your answer below. It's important, and we want to hear what you think. The Baltimore Ravens said that offensive line coach Joe D'Alessandris, who was 70 years old, died on Sunday. The Ravens said earlier this month that D'Alessandris had been hospitalized because he was very sick. Since the 2017 season, D'Alessandris had been the offensive line coach for the Ravens. From 2010 to 2012, D'Alessandris worked for the Bills as a teacher under Chan Gailey. Buffalo gave up 87 sacks during that time, which was the fifth fewest in the NFL. From 1979 to 1980, D'Alessandris coached O-linemen when he was still a young player. In 2008, he got his first job in the NFL with the Kansas City Chiefs. In a message released Sunday, Ravens head coach John Harbaugh said that Coach Joe D was a man of faith and honesty. He made us better. We had him lead our team mass, and everyone here loved him. You should be proud to have him as a friend because he was a great teacher and a good person. I looked up to him, loved him, and will miss him because Jody was a joy. He was liked by many, and his work as a coach and a player will never be forgotten. Our hearts go out to his family and friends during this sad time. May he rest in peace. Al Roker's heart breaks after his sad death. Your family is sad because we had to say goodbye yesterday. On Instagram, meteorologist, the popular host of the Today Show, said that his beloved dog Pepper had died. With a slideshow of pictures and movies from their time together, Roker wrote, 12 years ago, this sweet little girl named Pepper changed our lives. He said that we had to say goodbye yesterday. For all the love she gave to everyone who knew her, our hearts are heavy, but they are also larger. Pepper had emergency surgery a month ago. Pepper, our little girl, had surgery right away and is now getting better. She is getting great care and will be going home tomorrow.
Wow.
In May, he told his friends, you can sleep in our bed as much as you want. She told them how thankful she was that Pepper was still with them after giving them a big scare. During the Memorial Day weekend, Roker talked about Pepper and said, my girl is feeling better, great way to start the weekend of Memorial Day. In 2012, Al and his family took Pepper home from a rescue center in Pennsylvania. She was a regular on his Instagram page. In the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, she even sat on his lap while he predicted the weather at home. He said as he petted Pepper, this makes it a little easier for those of us who have therapy dogs. He said the dog wanted to lick Hoda Kotb's face, but she wouldn't do it because she doesn't want to be bothered. Al most recently shared a picture of Pepper wearing glasses to see the April solar eclipse. He also joked that Pepper had to fight with his new granddaughter Sky for her love and care last year. As for the artist, Al Roker recently enjoyed his return home after being hospitalized again because of health problems that wouldn't go away. The 68-year-old weather reporter for the Today Show told his fans on Instagram on Thursday that he is back home. He put up a picture of himself in the kitchen of his home, along with a picture of his 62-year-old wife, Deborah Roberts, hugging him, and a picture of the two of them happy with their 24-year-old daughter, Layla. Roker wrote home as the description for the touching party. Thank you to my family, friends, the hospital staff, the Today Show family, and everyone who thought of me and prayed for me. A lot of people agreed with him in the comments. What about you? Do you like the work of the actor and host on TV? Leave a note with your answer, and we'll be back with the next video soon.